with that said, journalists do have a political leaning and a political bent, and the media companies have a political bent. No, but it doesn't impact. But at the end of the day, the population, what can be sold to them, okay, what interests them, what grabs their attention. So the question to me is, how come the stories about Ukraine do not grab people's attention? The stories about Gaza and Israel does grab people's attention. This very simplified version of the argument. And how do you explain it? The way that you so far describe it sounds a lot like what Jews call anti-Semitism.
Jews don't say a morbid fascination is anti-Semitism.
Yes, no, they do. Ask any Jew here.
Morbid fascination is anti-Semitism.
They actually do.
What is that supposed to mean?
What he's trying to say is that it's this no Jews, no news kind of narrative.
Exactly, which is not anti-Semitism.
It is.
No, it's not.
It's look,
let's ask.
Buttercup, the point is, Jewish exceptionalism can both be. It's a two-edged sword. Jewish exceptionalism is responsible for both supremacy and both anti-Semitism. That's the problem with the
I understand. I'm not supporting exceptionalism that Jews are special.
I think that's the argument Ellie's bringing.
I understand that. But I just want to say
I'm bringing.
Also,
Buttercup is bringing.
No, Ellie, but also objectively, Israel is interesting for reasons beyond just people's cheap morbid fascination.
No, you're saying objectively covering Israel is good journalism?
Listen, the people are drawn. First of all, we do write about quite a bit about Ukraine and
Can I take a stab at this? I think he's trying to say that this whole
grab a knife.
no Jews, no news is what Buttercup
is
feels a little anti-Semitic.
Hold on.
I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying it's a fact of life.
I know, I get it, and Ellie's acknowledging that that's the argument you're bringing. But I think if I'm trying to understand,
it's a fact of life. It's been that way for centuries.
So you're claiming that one of the reasons that people are super interested in covering the whole Palestine-Gaza genocide is because of the Jewish aspect. Now, what Ellie's saying is this is the Zionist argument when it comes to this. But he, I think, is claiming, and on this I will agree with him, that it actually roots in many other reasons, like Islamophobia, like anti-immigration, like white versus brown, West versus the global South, not necessarily the Jews versus the Muslims.
That's exactly the point I was making, Emrose. I said,
okay, so I think this is what Ali didn't understand. Doesn't understand that that's what you're trying to say. I think
the story of Israel is objectively an interesting story for one, geopolitical reasons, two, our domestic policy and politics reasons, three, just the story of the Jews is genuinely a moving story of twists and turns and drama and peaks and falls.
But it's not because of that. Because Israel is considered to be look at it as a gladiator battle. Israel is the West, the white, and Palestine is the brown, the immigrant, the Muslim, the non-Judeo-Christian. It becomes a representation. So everybody
project their politics onto it. Who cares?
But it's really describing a fight poster marketing.
But it's not the Jewish,
marketing
it's
fight.
not necessarily the Jewish angle. It's the fact that Israel is considered to be the white Western representative in this.
Fantasies onto it, right? Everyone.
What does he know of Al-Aqsa?
Amir from the other room?
Yeah, did he work at Al-Aqsa?
That's
So why does he give a shit about Al-Aqsa?
This is why we say that when people here shove the holy war narrative, they're doing the Zionist job for them. Zionists really want to be a holy war, but the fact is that it's not. Yes, they do. This is how they create anti-Semitism. But the fact is, oh my God, McZed, can you please talk about
to be a holy war?
Okay.
I think what Ellie was trying to say, and Ellie can correct me, is that this Palestine-Israel genocide occupation is a representation of a battle between white and brown, West or global South, so on and so forth.
That's just marketing.
He's interested in why we care more about Israel than
I hate when you try to say what.
Let me finish this point so we can move this forward.
I love you.
Okay.
It's in my heart.
Alright, I think we killed it. We beat a dead horse.
It's in my heart. My love for you. The Islamofascism. I love you so much.
It's tricking you on purpose.
That it tears at my
And we
heart.
should not allow it because it promotes hate.
I love you so much.
Okay, you don't lose it.
Tears in my heart. It's like the Islamofascists and
Disavow.
Disavow. They that damn.
The Russo Marxists.
Said the citizen of the Zion Nazi state.
So how the Islamofascists and Marxists overthrew the
Said the
Shah.
Zion Nazi.
And
We heard you.
Every
That's
time
right.
he says it, I'm going.
This is just evolved into name calling.
Yeah, literally to get to it. That was
Stop Zion Nazi.
Ellie has the baby. How's the kiddo? Are they talking yet?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
No, what did you ask?
I said, how's the kiddo? Are they talking yet? Are they?
Yeah,
Hebrew or Russian? What language are you talking?
Mostly Hebrew.
Mostly Hebrew. Are you trying to do trilingual situation?
Yeah, but it's like all the media in English and all the grandmas in Russian.
Yeah. Okay, that works. That's a good system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see.
It's good when you put it in like different settings, because they can compartmentalize,
Exactly. Exactly. To be with.
So you speak Russian?
Hello.
Здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте.
Я хотел предлагать...
Can we talk about what I sent you, Buttercup?
Это украинский акцент, да?
Yeah.
Нет, это мужчинский голос.
Что? Не понял.
Это мужчинский голос.
Мужчинский голос?
Да.
I'd like to see more on this. Can you have like a document you can, like a link you can follow it up with?
The thing is that the big document, for some reason, I can only locate it on their website in Hebrew and in Arabic. Can you make it with the Hebrew one?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I'll use it to Google Translate. Is it a PDF file? It might be.
Yeah, it's a PDF file.
Don't use Google. Put it in ChatGPT or something.
Yeah.
I have a profound respect
But I
for
specifically screenshotted that specific portion because I thought it's short enough. I'm interested to get opinions on.
Okay, let's see. This is like a tried and tested path to mutual security. What we've learned. Who are these people? That is we.
Okay, so it's two-state, one homeland organization was established by Israelis and Palestinians long before October 7th, the genocide. And this is their shortened bullet point about mutual security, that specific topic.
Okay, this group is called A Land for All. It's a joint movement of Palestinians and Israelis who share a simple but transformative vision. Two democratic sovereign states, Israel and Palestine, linked together in a confederation with gradual steps towards freedom of movement and residence for all. I think I've seen something similar to this.
Yeah,
right?
I've sent to you before probably because I'm posting them this Friday.
This isn't, but there's an older version where basically there's two governments, but they allow residency.
In Arabic, maybe you've seen that one before.
Is this a new plan or a
documents are relatively new. I think before that they were drafted differently.
Okay, yeah, I think this is actually good. It's almost like a hybrid between 1 and 2 states, right? It gives both
Exactly, and it's an intermediate step on the road to a one step. It talks about it as an intermediate step and not yet. But we should read it for everybody and not talk over that.
Okay, so here's what it says. They don't believe in separation. What doesn't work is separation, which has impoverished Palestinians and delegitimized their public institutions while failing to deliver security with Israelis. What it does work is respect for human dignity and economic opportunity. What also works is mutuality and cooperation. And then they outline what they propose. Their vision, each state would have a sovereign authority over its own internal security, while both would commit to partnership in managing borders, shared intelligence, and cooperating to prevent violence and bring perpetrators to justice. Binding security commitment institutions charged with serving both publics, not controlling them, and by guarantees from trusted international third parties. With the state of Palestine, Israel's military and security presence would rapidly be replaced with international forces within the state of Palestine. Freedom of movement and residence across the Israeli-Palestinian border would be phased in gradually to minimize security threats and economic shocks. Cooperation to address external threats would be embedded within a regional security framework. Beginning immediately, Israel should be pressed to revive its security paradigm and focus on individual threats emanating from either side, not collective restrictions on one side. All right, I like it.
So I will add a small portion that's not written here. What they talk about is two sovereign nation where you can be with open borders. You can be a citizen of Israel or a citizen of Palestine, but you can reside in each territory. If you're, for example, a Palestinian citizen that chooses to live in Israel territory, but general elections, you vote for the Israel government. And both sides are completely demilitarized. The freedom of movement is between the two. Nobody can tell you where you can or cannot live. You take away displacement of settlements and all that thing. And of course, it includes a full right of return.
Actually, it sounds beautiful. Can we talk on the topic of Islam?
Rody was the one who introduced me to this, and I didn't even know this was out there. But it's been
I will say that one of the most important to me parts in this that doesn't appear in this specific portion is at the very beginning where they talk about mutual recognition, which effectively means that we all recognize. And even though I think that's a bit of a stretch, but it's a compromise I'm willing to make. I dislike the symmetry being portrayed here. It can appease Zionists enough, and it might be a price worth paying. I'm not sure, but that is. And the other problem I have with them is that I did not find the part where they talk about actual justice being applied. But generally speaking, what do you think?
Okay, so here's my question for you, Emrose. Is the reason you're bringing it up because it's gaining some traction? Because people have brought this up before and it was seen as unrealistic, right?
Yes. Omar Barto dedicated an entire chapter. Remember the last chapter in the book?
Okay.
This is exactly the Confederacy he's talking about. Their initiative. He's
like a viable or a pragmatic path forward.
Yeah.
Is it getting traction beyond the Omar Bartovs of the world? Like in
Israeli? The guy that I'm hosting actually made a comment on one of the Standing Together political party posts saying that they're going to endorse it. Getting opinions if you can. I'm really interested to get.
Okay, you can talk to Rody. Rody's like a Zionist, but he's like,
Rody, but it's impossible to pin him down.
But he's the one who told me about this plan, even though he thought it was like a little bit of a pipe dream, a little bit of a long shot, right? But he
a little bit is like the understatement of the year.
Listen, at least it's a
I think it's something that the international community can get behind and impose on Israel.
You think so?
Yeah, I do, Ellie. You really don't understand how much people hate us right now.
You have kind of misguided understanding what the international community
Hey,
cares
you have to
or
like,
wants.
go straight
or
to
does.
insults, Ellie. Come on, try to be a little more gracious.
What was insulting?
You just insulted her intelligence. Please be nicer. Thanks.
No, he's right. She's delusional.
I was
You're just making.
We're in the Yehudim Neged Retzacham room, okay? So like, behave yourself accordingly.
They don't even recognize the genocide, and they probably celebrate.
Who are you talking to?
Who's this?
Not you, Val.
Who's
They're
Bao?
drama queens. They're talking to the audience always.
Okay.
Who's Bao?
That was a guy named Michael. He used to be Seymour Butts. He's just an idiot.
Is he
Did you?
like a Zio?
He's like a provocative Jew. He criticizes Israel. He's a little bit of a Nazi though. Like he embraces some white supremacist views.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Like he's a little bit in the.
Fuck you, Nazi.
He's just a little bit too on the internet. He's a little too online, so he absorbs a lot of conspiracies about Jews, but he is critical of Israel and thinks all the Zios are. Have you?
I am what I believe to be a proponent of me physically in the natural world that we live in today.
Oh my God.
I'm a proponent of America first.
Dear God.
Spiritually, emotionally, all that. Okay, am Israel high, okay? But I live here. I was born here. I was raised here. This is my house. This is my home.
Makes sense.
America. So, yeah.
All right, thanks for stopping.
Are you against the genocide?
That doesn't sound like a Nazi.
No.
Are you against the genocide?
Am I what?
Against the genocide.
Who would define genocide?
Are you against
Creating conditions of.
Are they indigenous?
Okay, so he's one of those.
He's one of those. You can't even communicate with him.
I mean, it will be interesting if this plan gets traction. That would be cool.
Oh, it's going to get traction. I'm sure an international peacekeeping force will be descending upon Israel, a conglomeration, a confederacy of a demilitarized binational occupation force.
You're either against the genocide
She's
or
delusional.
you support it. That's the box. You're either
with
or
us
against humanity.
or you're against us. You're either an anti-Zionist or a Zionist.
Then you're one of those. Then you're one of those that we live.
You're one of them.
You're part of the problem.
I don't even know what's going on. What if I'm not intelligent enough?
Well, then you're just ignorant and explainable because of your stupidity. You're a stupid, ignorant troublemaker.
Did you just say Yisrael Chai?
You did, like a stupid, ignorant
It's not
troublemaker.
inherently offensive to say Jews should live.
No, but you know exactly what that stands for, so that's why I continue to ask.
I'm sorry, one second. Am Yisrael Chai is offensive to you?
In order to make sure, I asked him about the genocide. Did I or did I not ask you about the genocide?
You figured it out.
Did I or did I not ask you about the genocide?
But is that a dog whistle then?
Yes. You're either against the genocide or you're not.
AIPAC. He hates our
I
American
don't care.
Israel meddling in our
Yeah.
politics.
I don't care. It doesn't matter if you're American,
They
Japanese,
play
Italian,
both sides all the
That's
You
time.
either
You're
stand
part of
against
the
murdering
problem.
22,000 children or you're
I
not.
got a better one for you, Ambrose. What if I'm Puerto Rican?
Doesn't matter. Are you human?
Then you are the problem.
Are you human? Do you believe there's any justification for starving any child anywhere ever?
What if I were to surprise you and tell you that I'm actually an offender?
It has nothing to do.
Oh,
I
I'm
asked you
gonna
whether you think there is justification for starving children anywhere, everywhere. No. Then why are you not speaking against what is being done in Gaza? Starving children and
Starving
innocent
children in
people.
America too.
Because that's the only.
America
That's
also
wrong.
has starving children. Okay,
That's true.
That's wrong.
We're gonna
Children
kick down
starve
every starving.
everywhere.
Or does he? Or is he against it?
Apathetic.
And
And
he
what was
claimed
his
ignorance, and you
And
condemned
his
him.
response was, "What is a
Yes.
genocide?" I gave you the definition of a genocide. You still didn't answer
I'm
me.
borderline retarded, so I have no idea what's going on.
There we go.
True.
So you see, this is.
I mean,
a
he
person
said that
when
earlier.
we
He
talk
said that he
about.
was stupid.
Being
So
very
you see,
straightforward.
this is how I fit. No, this is how I fit you in a
You still
box.
condemned him.
Because when I talk about genocide, starving children, and 22,000 dead, murdered children, So he doesn't talk about Israel Palestine at all.
He kind of doesn't give a shit
I
now.
have two.
Yeah, he was pretty clear from the beginning. He doesn't care.
I have a question and a statement.
He's the only one who's not fixated on Israel. Finally, the only
That's not true. He's not
anti-Semite.
the only one. You people just.
The only
peddle
person in the
people
world who's not an
obsessed.
anti-Semite.
But aren't
Exactly.
we here
Sit in the line
talk
like
to
a person,
Jews?
please.
Yeah, sure. What's up
Emrose,
now?
yeah, hold on. Emrose, I do want to tell you that I do validate all your concerns and all the trials and tribulations that you might endure. But at the same time, I just do want to tell you is that I do care about you. I care about you immensely. I think you're a wonderful person, and I think you're beautiful inside and out. And I think the fact that you care really upholds the type of person you are. And I really don't negate any of your passions and your drive. So I do want to validate you. Okay. Secondly, have you ever been held and hugged before?
Holy
trying to sound
shit,
just like
Bronstein's
Ronald,
roasting that bitch, buttering her up
Well, then we have great friends.
for the fatal fate de compete.
Ambrose, like I said, I am always here. Jesus Christ is always here. If you ever need him, and if you ever we're both.
22,000 children were murdered on behalf of your faith or ethnicity or
22,000 slaughtered babies for your Zionism.
He's half Jewish, half Catholic.
The
So he's more
October
Catholic.
7th
It's like, the
genocide.
Jews reject him, the Catholics reject him.
He's a reject,
He
but he did just
has
roast
free
you.
hand.
So what's it like getting roasted for a reject?
Very quickly and fully. Israel.
No, they won't, because he's
Yeah,
not.
they will.
Yep, yep. Yes, they will go.
the
You
state
can make all
will,
that
the state will
Because of his
state will-
father.
there will-
And live in limbo. You can't
He's
marry
Jewish
him.
enough.
They don't
He's
allow
Jewish
that.
enough to be part
Whatever
of the
social
of the
status, he
demographic
different, so.
majority, but his kids won't be Jewish enough to be part of the
So
demographic
bizarre.
majority.
Yeah, look, I gotta find a nice Ethiopian Stucker.
No, you will still be forced into conversion.
No, get a Cuban and say that she was a crypto.
You won't be allowed to get
Like your
married
dad
in the
did.
state because it's a fascist state.
My mother has never like espoused the fact that like, nothing about being crypto anything. It's fucking weird.
I know, just like throw it in there. Listen, if you move to Israel, backstory it up. She's a crypto.
There's so many hybrids in Israel. It's insane. Like,
Come in the Americas. The Spanish pushed them out just as the Americas were discovered. So a lot of Jews ended up in the Americas. especially those islands that were Spanish occupied, like Puerto Rico.
I'm here to kind of just be jovial and fun, like real talk. So I'm not your enemy. You don't ever have to attack me. Just FYI. Okay?
Right now, I see you more as a potential sexual harasser than an.
That's true.
Jesus Christ, what does your husband think of you? Fuck.
That's not nice.
I do not subscribe to the whole
You're boxing me. You're boxing me. In the spiritual sense, I believe Israel has a place in my heart.
Manipulation tactic.
There we go.
But again.
Daughter, by the way, not because of me. If I wasn't a mother, I would stay and fight the occupation until my last breath. But that doesn't change the fact that fight the occupation until my last breath. But that doesn't change the fact that when you say that you
fight the occupation to her last breath.
That's not true, because you have actively used your Jewish privilege at the expense of the Palestinians that are now
Jewish
being
privilege.
genocided. So when
Look,
don't
YouTube
take
disabled
your
one of my
stance
live
on
streams
this, but at the
again.
same time
Oh,
use the
YouTube can't
privilege given
handle
to you
me.
by the same state
Over and over and
committing
over
a
again.
genocide
YouTube
on
gives me
your
community
behalf,
guideline
your
strikes,
silence
deletes
becomes
content.
compliance.
It's not even me saying shit. It's what
So
people are
everyone's
saying on the
this.
internet.
How about I join your side and whatever organization you're part of right now? So you're actually actively like outside parading and like, you know.
It's none of your
campaigning
business
against-
what I do.
Okay, so do you sit on Clubhouse all day, or are you outside and about? Like I'm very.
No,
Do you
she's on
think
Twitter.
that this is the trap that I'm going to fall for?
I don't know. I'm just curious because I will.
You think
campaign
you're the
political.
only
I'm
one
curious
who
to know.
tried? You think you're the only one who tried? That's not an interesting line of questioning what I do in my private life and how I advocate and act, what type of an activist I am.
Well,
Right
it's
now,
not
I'm an
private if
entity
you're
talking to you.
espousing. Okay,
How
I'm sorry,
not?
I'm interrupting.
It is private.
I'm
Do you see my full name here?
No.
Melanie.
Did I choose to be
Melanie!
anonymous? Then it is private. Then by asking,
Nothing's.
what are you doing?
It's like saying it's a secret.
It is.
Holocaust. Are we talking about?
You're like the people who didn't speak during the Jewish Holocaust, and you're one of the people who are not speaking. You're also one of the people not speaking.
276,000 people, Buttercup. Anyways, was it really 6 million, Buttercup? All right. So, anyways, Emerald. So, what was the Holocaust?
Somebody get Benny Adam here. I think that's his job to deal with these lunatics. I'm serious. Somebody DM Benny Adam. That's his specialty.
Danielle came back to see you.
Oh, you came back for another one, honey? You really have a self-subjugation problem.
Well,
I heard you
Projection
running in the other
alert!
room, by the way. That's very funny.
Projection alert! Self-subjugation projection alert!
Us.
Aw,
This is the room that keeps
Yeah.
giving.
actually,
I wish you the I wish you well in your endeavors, and I wish you well and many successes with all the things that you're doing.
מיכאל משה מזרחי נרצח במונטריאול.
Mrs. Rose, why didn't you reach
הירי
out to
היה
Israel?
ליד בית סליחה, עם שני הרוגים ופצוע אחד.
Rose, you speak Hebrew very well, and you're in Israel. And why didn't you reach out to the Israel government and tell them to invite the guy who saved the Jew in Australia? Why didn't
They
give
did.
the guy a
They went
medal
to
or something?
they went to visit him and they tried to make him into a token Muslim to validate Zionism.
No, I'm talking about Israel
I
government. Those
Yeah,
people who visited in Australia.
They sent an official, and I think they actually tried to invite him, and he rejected him. Thank God.
Talk about they tried to invite him.
I think they did. He's just a good person who did the right thing, and they don't get to use him to whitewash their own crime and hate. Sorry.
Don't be sorry, okay?
Fuck you.
What did I
You made jokes when I
This is
spoke about
mental.
22,000 murdered children.
do? I didn't make jokes. I was talking
Yes,
about
you
money.
did.
Brother was asking me a question. No, I didn't.
I have a very good memory.
You feel
Think about that.
Did you feel bad
Something
about
you might be on the spectrum, Ambrose. Have you ever thought about getting like ASD, see if you might be on the spectrum at all, or no?
There, again, when you go down the ad hominem route, you're only proving that I win the argument, that you have nothing left to say except for going after me personally. It makes you look ridiculous, not me.
All right, definitely.
They're all human, but they don't behave like it, or they don't see others as human. But I don't label people animals. I just label them bad people with not bad people, people who do bad shit. But he's right. I can't force you people to have a moral conscience or a soul. If you decide to bury it deep down inside it, beat it down every time it rears its head. Like, I don't know what else to do.
They advise, say what you need to say, and that's it. It's his choice. I'm sure he's.
But Joe, people are dying. I'm serious. I don't know what else to do.
I know. I'm seeing it today, this morning. They just bombed kids and women this morning in Gaza.
17-year-old child on her way to a final fucking exam. And she was the only survivor of her family. The only survivor, a 17-year-old kid. God.
Yes, she was
It's all fucking killed again, Ellie, especially people like you.
And when there's a new resistance group comes, let's call them Hamas 2026, they say, why do you do that, October 7? Why? Of course, I'm against to kill any innocent. I was disgusted from Hamas. I'm pro-Hamas, used to be, honestly. But to take innocent people from Israel, I was 100% against it. If they took IDF soldier, I'll be proud. I'll be 100% with October 7. But I was not. To take old women, girls, boys.
Yeah, but you see, the problem is that Israelis have opposition members who stood at a podium, not Ben Gvir, not small Zionists, who said that children in Gaza brought it upon themselves. See, that's the difference. This is what you fucking support, Ellie.
Oh, wow.
You guys can.
Joe, did you happen to listen to what Buttercup said before about the one true state, one homeland initiative?
I did not.
I'm hosting a friend of mine, Dr. Tal Aburas, on X on Friday, and we're going to talk about the initiative founded by his father called One Homeland, True State. It talks about a demilitarized binational confederacy.
Demilitarized binational
As an
confederacy.
intermediate step, there will be two sovereign nations with open borders, shared intelligence, shared security, international forces, but full recognition of a place for the Jews between the river and the sea as their homeland, as well as full right of return to all Palestinians. But it's not exactly a two solution. That's why we're talking about with Buttercup. There's a lot of noise coming through your honey.
I'm sorry, guys.
Because we know one state is not feasible in the near future, simply because Israel society needs to be de-radicalized and Palestinians honestly need time away from Israelis. But a two-state solution is obviously dead. But this proposes something, a structure that can actually be something that the international community might consider imposing on Israel. And I think it's a good, solid bone structure for something feasible that can actually lead to a one state at the end, and not the way they always talk about it as a two state and that's the final answer. No, this is a demilitarized, full right of return confederacy that is supposed to lead to a one state situation. What do you think?
People rock my ass.
Yesterday, the first Palestinian 48 that was taken into administrative detention, aka kidnapped, died in Israel torture camps. That's the first time it's happened to a citizen of Israel. Yes, Palestinian, but still a citizen of Israel. That's after two of them were revoked of their citizenship because of some bullshit charge. So Palestinians 48 are now also being genocided.
To this execution plan they have, being fear the terrorist motherfucker, and he wants execution just apply for the Arab.
Oh Oh no, we need these Confederacy to demilitarized by national statehood. We gotta do something quick!
Issue a death sentence.
10 years left, there is no Palestinians left!
Get this.
They've all been
A
genocided!
terror act that was rooted in the intention to prevent the Jew. Executions in the West Bank on a daily basis in the past 2 years.
But really,
I'm
I see.
very angry, Joe. I'm fucking angry.
Trust me, I lost a family member
I know.
in Palestine because of this motherfucker, and I've witnessed their crimes in my own eyes. I've seen it. Like, nobody told me. I've been there. I've seen what they are fucking doing, and they have no respect to kids, women, old men. And even in the checkpoints, such a humiliation, they are doing it in purpose, intent to emulate.
They're trained to do it. This is part of keeping the population oppressed and subjugated.
Yes, even the old woman, even in the history of fucking the terrorist state of Israel, since they are founded, like in 1948, you will not find a single Palestinian woman over in Palestine or Israel. They still targeted and treated as a terrorist. I was treated as a fucking terrorist. I am an American, and I've never harmed a single Jew or anyone. And I've been treated this is the Huckabee, this motherfucker, this Huckabee. This is like I'm boiling.
He's a truly maniac one.
He's a fucking Israeli agent. This motherfucker, the way how he defends Israel every single moment, it makes me sick, and I want to vomit in his fucking mouth. This son of the bitch, Zionist dirty dog. He care about the Americans. He truly showed Tucker Carlson that he's Israeli agent. He never cared about Americans. Do you know how many Americans killed by Israeli in Israel? Not a lot.
Did you hear the UAE just hosted an entire delegation of liberal Zionists, including the former head of the Shabak, Ronen fucking Bar, the same guy that sat in the command center the same night that Israel fucking murdered 278 children in one goddamn night. And that's the one that the UAE is hosting with his wife. What? All of you are quiet all of a sudden? Nothing to say about the former head of the Shabak? It doesn't matter to you that the head of the Shabak is overseeing an operation that killed 278 children in one day, in one night?
Do I have to repeat myself twice?
You kind of have to stand against it.
Well, here I've seen those people like him in America, old people. We show them pictures of people, kids in Gaza, and we show them video footage proof what they're doing. They just walk away. They just act blind and just walk away. But if we told them those kids is Jewish, guess what? Humanity show up, and all of a sudden, oh my God, poor Jewish kid.
Yeah. I hope you started to think of what you're going to tell your grandchildren, Helly, when they asked you what were you doing during the Gaza Holocaust, and you'll have to look them in the eye and tell them the truth.
You're trying to drag me into a conversation in yeah?
Yeah, what's up?
What an obnoxious bitch.
They come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
That's more fun.
Hmm? At least I have finished doing all my dishes.
That's the real moral of the story.
Well, they
Ribono Shalom, another Emrose miracle. Day dat dem. Day dat dem. Day dat dem. Again. Day dat dem. Emrose. So I tried to get Grok to do an analysis of 2026. Emrose, you could be the winner for the world's most annoying person. It's really quite an accomplishment if you think about it linguistically, in terms of creating sound, in terms of repetition. And she says that she is willing to resist the occupation until her last breath, which is amazing. That's real commitment. And we have to, respect people's will to really follow a thing through. And Michael Braunstein brought up a good point when he said, what does your husband think of you? And that really made them think. And I'm just saying that if you haven't, honestly, at the root of all these problems is atheism, because if you are an atheist by default,
and something negative attached to it. And Islamofascism cannot be said because it has the word Islam and something bad attached to it. Don't you understand?
No.
It's like, listen, if both have been not okay or both have been okay, that would not be double standard, which would kind of not be Orwellian, which would not what they're going for. It must be double speak.
Newspeak.
Oh, my friend is here. Thank God.
Wait,
We're
double speak, no?
Ellie, I gotta say, man,
Double speak is when you say a word and it means something else. Newspeak.
Orwellian was.
I think newspeak is like the broader term.
Register that I completely don't want to talk to her. I don't care about what she has to say, that she's annoying. She's not interesting to me. And she was like, you have to help me. Please engage. Oh, please engage. You must engage. You don't want to engage. You're a bad person. You lost it.
Okay,
because you don't want to
I'm a bad
engage.
person. All right, we didn't engage.
So you were trying to bring up the
Humor can be happy in his own way.
Ellie, you were trying to bring up the point that what she is saying, that what Buttercup was saying is anti-Semitic, and so
No. What I was trying to say is
She
that
did say
Buttercup's explanations, what causes people to be fixated on Israel, sounds a lot what Jews describe as anti-Semitism.
right, yeah, okay, so. Well, one thing is I did see this former neo-Nazi shoot a video with Chabad, and he was talking about Jewish obsession. Behavioral therapists. And so what's so crazy about Amrose and Buttercup is when you listen, like I was here in Anon, and the projection from them is so accurate. And I think the big term she used was like, I don't know, not like, I can't remember the exact term, but she was saying that it's self-destruction. She is basically a self-destructive Jew because yeah. I mean, I don't know how you view security, but when you are surrounded by the Muslim world, that small 1% or even less is a threat. And so this obsession that I was talking about earlier, it's a psychological, malady. And it's unfortunate, but it results in security and physical violence and harm. See, no, Israel will always survive because of the Orthodox, because of their conservatism. That's the truth. And they don't have to serve in the military. It's just not needed. Let them be conservative, because the more conservative they are, the more they will reject liberal progressivism and these lies and propaganda. It's just not part of their communication paradigm. They don't even engage in it. And so they automatically say there's a wall, like, sorry, we're not going to have these conversations with you. Like, we're interested in the GOD, not your atheistic propaganda bullshit. Like, it's just nonstop.
I personally see many issues with the Haredi community that I don't think that they are the natural allies of the rest of
Totally does.
They are the most effective electoral force in Israel, and like the saving grace is that they're like still in a small enough minority, but they have been hogging the Israeli politics for years now because they have been.
I mean it in a way that, like, it appears dissociated because it's not the majority, but even like the Texas legislature, I've heard that the small Democrat minority in the Texas legislature actually, in a way, like directs the movement of the caucus, if that makes any sense. So, like, how does a minority group have such a huge communication impact on the collective? It's basically an organism, environment, organism. cackling, communist, like somebody where like if you're out on the battlefield, she'd still be out there like muttering the party's slogans. Like, do you hear the shit she says? It's so communistic sounding, socialist. It's like so fucking amazing. Palestinian is genocided, so we got to act quick. We only have 10 years left before the goose, or what's that bird that went extinct? What was that goofy bird? The dodo. She claims that all the dodo birds are going to go extinct in 10 years unless we act quick.
They're going to go the way of the dodo?
Yeah. And anyways, I recorded this whole thing. Like, her talking points are remarkable. It's all white versus is coming back to Israel in a multinational peacekeeping force to demilitarize and free Palestine, to liberate Palestine forever.
God bless, it's a confederacy, not a federacy.
Anyways, her Friday talk, like I've heard her on X Spaces in huge anti-Semite rooms, and but Grok refused to analyze her document for some reason and give me 10 key extracts. Just Grok would not comply with my requests.
Good, Grok. Give ChatGPT.
I've insulted Grok many times now, and I think Grok, is discriminating against me now. It's amazing. If you insult AI, it will like take a punitive stance against you and not help you get the data or information you're looking for. So many people don't know what you can and cannot say in terms of free speech on platforms. Obviously, you can't talk about the S word, which ends with the L word. That is a keyword that will trigger an automated shutdown.
What's the S word that ends with the L word?
Sui, you can't use that word.
Sui?
Let's just not say the word, okay? I can put it in the chat for you. But
self-deletion.
Self-deletion. You can't use that word in the chat.
That word. You could have just said the euphemism, which is unalive.
Unaliving.
Oh, unaliving, yeah.
Other things you can't say is you cannot talk about LGBTQ. You just can't. It is a protected class. Cannot do it. But you can talk.
Watermelon rainbow.
You can talk about the J words all day long, but you cannot talk about Muslims because that's Islamophobic. So you see the double standard on these platforms, that they allow the Free Palestine propaganda and the J word, anti-Semitic hate speech, but they will not let you talk about Islam, Muhammad, Aisha. That's all considered Islamophobia, and that is a protected class. And so the LGBTQ fascism and extremism is amazing, because when you talk about double standards, like, people aren't out promoting, heterosexual activity and being heterosexual extremists. It doesn't exist, because that's the natural order of the situation. But when you call out LGBTQ as being fascistic or Democrat vote organizing or queer brainwashing to eliminate any type of masculinity, 47% of gays admit to have being raped by an adult man during their childhood.
So how is that 100%?
It's a perfect correlation between childhood rape and homosexual behavior. Just let me finish the list. Homosexuals represent 2% of the world's population, but they represent 33% of pedophile rapists. 78% of homosexuals have STDs. 23% of children with lesbian parents have been sexually abused. Homosexuals represent 2% of the world's population, but they have 60% of the AIDS virus. And 51% of cases of domestic violence occur in same-sex couples. So over half of all the domestic, 911 calls, over half. Liberal pluralism values. I said, I thought you were supposed to be the conservative AI. And Greg said, fuck you, bitch. I am beautiful. You are beautiful. Anyways, Ellie, thank you for debating the butter. Basically Emrose mostly.
I was avoiding debating. What are you talking about?
Well, it was fun because you're a nice guy, so you're not kicked from the stage. You're considered weak and effeminate. Yeah, you're considered you could cross over. Yeah, you're not mean is what I'm saying. If you were mean, they would kick you. I'm not saying that is a weakness. I'm just saying I'm just saying that let me take back the weak word. Let me just say that you are tolerated.
Monica probably was really proud of her blue badge before it became commoditized.
Buttercup.
That's actually probably the greatest abuse that those people have to go through.
Yeah,
Stripped of the privilege of the almighty blue badge.
Yeah, Elle blocked me on X Spaces or on X.
Oh, by the way,
I think blocking people is incredibly gay.
Well,
about Elle?
Yeah, Elle, Canadian.
Yeah, no. She told me to go seek a therapist.
Projection is a motherfucker when you realize that all communication is projection. I have trans gay men on Instagram and on X making death threats to me. after somebody blocked me, I say, "Hey, Grok, add this profile to my block list. Add this account that has blocked me to my ongoing blocked tracker."
Oh, she also told me that I'm still 18 Jew.
Another projection alert. It's amazing. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I've never heard anybody tell me, like, you're projecting unless I bring it up, which I find alarming. Is that people are so self-unaware that they don't know they're just like in a chronic state of repetitive projection. And how can you just, at some point you have to realize, like, okay, I'm a shameless propaganda.
Private person.
Fuck you, bitch. Zion Nazi. Zion Nazi, bitch. Fuck you, Zion Nazi. Zion Nazi say what? Zion Nazi say what? See, I'm their worst enemy because, like, no one has the time to document, record, and roast these people. And most people are not willing to, like, record them and, post it on X and say, here's, the unauthorized Emrose. But I will, and I'm about to do that. I'm about to, gaslight her on X. And I had another room open recording the room called You Got a Little Triggered, which is basically saying, you got. Mayoral candidate. Vote John Kitover before it's too late. Vote John Kitover. It's better than nothing. But this has been another episode of Somebody Got a Little Triggered. It's the name of the show. You Zion Nazi fuck. You bitch. Like, what is Emrose? I liked how Michael Bronstein was like, I want to validate everything you said. I support you, and I wish you success in all your endeavors. And I just want to know, like, did your parents ever, like, hold you as a child and, like, kiss you?
Wait, is that the guy that is...
Oh yeah, I think he's working in IT, but
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of.
yeah, he lives in Boca. He goes by Bow Wow.
He also triggers people.
I know. I don't find him to be, like, highly knowing person. I think he's just like a funny, nice, normal guy. But if you're just